Welcome back, everyone, to another episode on the Coach Approach podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Christmas survival guide or the Christmas survival advice, should we say. Christmas can be a very difficult time for most. I know a lot of people that can gain 2, 3, 4 kilos of body fat without really realizing that they're doing it. Some people I know absolutely fly it, and I'm not here to tell you you should be restrictive. None of my clients are, unless they're on a photo shoot prep coming up at the beginning of December, depending on what time you listen to this podcast episode. But most of my clients will be enjoying the Christmas period. They'll be managing it as best they can, and they are also going to make sure they're not going to be taking 5 steps back, but at least maintaining, or maybe even just 1 step back, and then we can shoot forward 5 steps forward in January. Because the idea is to not gain loads of body fat, but still make progress. And maintenance is still on massive progress to gaining lots of fat over Christmas. People seem to not realize this. They seem to think that they have to make lots of fat loss progress during the Christmas period. When it's just further, it's just, oh, there's my dog's sneezing, bless her. And that's could not be further from the truth. The goal for me, for my clients anyway, is that we are going to manage socials, we're going to have fun, and we're either going to maintain or make progress. Over the Christmas week, that's a week off. That's just like have fun, enjoy it. You're going to be okay. Still train, do this. And I'm going to tell you in this episode what I'm going to tell my one-to-one clients, what I'm going to do, what I have done being in a fat loss phase before over Christmas, and breaking it down for you guys. So when we break down a lot of things, and I did this with a client, Dan, yesterday. He was turning on a bit nervous about the Christmas period because obviously, I'm panicking a bit. We're on a fat loss phase. We're doing really well. I've got socials. And I said, send me your socials. What dates are they? And they was the end of November, 2 at the beginning of December, and a weekend away. And then obviously Christmas. I was like, okay, cool. There's 3 dates, 3 days. There's a weekend away, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then there's Christmas. So we'll break that down from now until January the 1st, or to say January the 3rd, for example. Just like 20% of the time, should we say? We can make progress in the 80% of the time. No, the other 80%. It's not just because we have a social that means that all the other days I've completely ruined. Absolutely not. It's just like another client, Max, when he said it to me last year, he goes, "Oh, mate, I've got mental amount of socials this month. I don't know if fat loss is going to work." I was like, "Okay, do the same thing. Send me your diary." I was like, "Okay, we've got one. I think it was 3, maybe 4. So it was like 4 out of 30 days because it was 30 days in the month. So let's take 4 from 30. That gives us 26 days. I was like, so 4 days is around, let's say, 10%, 12%. What are we going to do for the 87.5% or the 90 other percent? And then he's like, oh yeah. So if you break it down like that, you're going to be fine. And it's always about managing them and just a lot of people in my experience anyway, may not be every coach's experience, but whenever I speak to someone or speak to people or clients, they think the one social in the week ruins the other 6 days. And I'm like, what social is it? It could be drinks, it could be a party, it could be a meal out with drinks. I'm like, okay, so it's what? It's 5 hours of the week. 6 hours, let's say 6 hours, maybe from like, fucking 5 to 11. 6 hours of the week gonna absolutely tarnish everything. No. So pull yourself together then. So when I break it down like that, that really helps clients understand that, oh, okay, well, actually, I can make loads of progress, if not even definitely maintain. Just because you have a social, just because you have multiple socials over Christmas period, does not mean you just throw the whole plan in the kitchen sink. It doesn't mean you just throw it in the bin. It doesn't mean you go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you eat loads of food because you're like, fuck it, I've got Friday, Saturday, I've got Saturday social, so I'm just going to eat loads and not train and not do any steps and not do any cardio. Mental mindset. That is stupid mindset. So what I would suggest is that you do that first in the breakdown. Okay, cool. What's the other percentage we can do? 80%. Cool. What are we going to do in that 80%? Well, weirdly, guys, the advice would be to still train, to still do your cardio, to still do your steps, to still do your, getting good sleep, getting hydration, all of that general stuff. That doesn't really change. Okay. What would I suggest though when it comes to the social itself? Well, we're going to be calorie banking, aren't we? You're on 2,000 calories per day, for example. You're going, it's a Saturday evening social. You're going to fast until the midday. You're going to have a high protein, low calorie meal. It's either going to be chicken and veg, it's going to be turkey and veg, or it's going to be sky yogurt with loads of fruit. You're going to have good micronutrients, You're going to get a solid protein serving. You're going to drink lots of water to help you feel fuller. You're going to have caffeine, and then you're going to spend those calories in the evening. So maybe have 1,500 calories in the evening. You're going to be hydrated. You're going to, if you're going out for food, it's going to be high protein, low carb, I would suggest. You don't need to do starter, main, dessert plus 10 bottles of wine or 5 pints. You're going to go in there and be sensible and not be an absolute dickhead. You're going to have a good meal. You're going to have some drinks, maybe one or two instead of 2 pints. Have 2 bottles of beer instead of 2 bottles of beer. I love rum and Diet Coke, but you could have a spirit with a diet mixer, which is about 60 calories. So it's really simple decisions like that. And it annoys me so much that people go, you know what, I'm just going to eat loads, as much as I want. I'm going to drink as much as I want because it's Christmas. I'm like, but this was what makes you feel like shit. This is what makes you then feel shit about your body. You then feel so hungover that you can't move. You then get a takeaway. Then you feel even less shit. Then you feel even more shit. Then you can't sleep well. Then you feel depressed. It makes no sense to me. Now, I'm all for socials, by the way, guys. This is a Christmas survival guide, but it's a bit of a rant as well. But I'm all for socials. I love socials. My photo shoot prepped recently. I had 11 socials, 2 weekends away, 2 weddings. Okay. I don't go over the top. I enjoy them. I have fun. I don't feel like crap. I've got multiple socials this week, this Christmas. I've even got my client Christmas do, which we're going up to Brighton. We're going to have some drinks. What am I going to do? I'm going to calorie bank. I'm going to still train. I'm still going to have my water. I'm going to drink fluids throughout the day. I'm going to have bottles of beer instead of pints. I'm going to have spirits instead of bottles when I can. And I'm going to have, maybe one big meal. That's it. It's simple. It's incredibly simple. And then the next day, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm going to make sure that I, have my food prepped. I'll make sure I have lots of hydration throughout the day, and then lots of hydration when I get home from the night, or should we say day session. And then I'm going to get up and do my steps, and maybe do some cardio if I have to, or maybe I don't really want to be doing cardio on hangover, but I'm going to get my body moving. I'm not going to be a pig. So that's how I would approach socials. Reducing the calorie intake by reducing your alcohol choices. And you have to make some choices like this, by the way, guys. Like, if you're in a fat loss phase, you do need to make some sacrifices because you're fat for a reason. Unfortunately, your decisions has put you into this position that you're overweight, unconfident, and not happy with yourself. Those old habits that you did before, you can't continue to do so. That doesn't mean you still can't enjoy yourself. You can absolutely still have a glass of wine. You still absolutely can have a pint. It's just the amount. And it's like, you don't gain loads of body fat in one weekend. Body fat accrual is a lot to do with overfeeding over time. You do not gain 5 kilos of body fat in one weekend. You do not gain 1 kilo of body fat in one weekend. And the amount of body fat the amount of calories that you need to consume to put on 1 kilo of body fat is 7,400 calories. Around that, just over 7,000. That's 7,000 calories, guys. That's a lot of calories. Now, if you're calorie banking and you are being mindful with your substitutions, you're probably going to go in a bit of a surplus over your maintenance, but you're not going to have 7,000 or more than 7,000 calories over your maintenance, are you, really? If you do, then fair play. Then blimey, like, Jesus. I I salute you. But realistically, no one does that. And to put your mind at ease as well, when you see that scale weight rise up after a social, it is food that needs to pass through. You just need to get back to routine. You don't need to make any drastic changes. You just need to let the food pass through, call it the weekend weight, weekend spike. By Wednesday, Thursday, you're back to normal. And as long as you approach it the right way, you will see success, and you will still enjoy yourself. So a couple of pointers there that I want you to really think about is over 7,000 calories you need to consume over your maintenance to gain a kilo of fat. We know 1 pound of fat is around 3,500 calories. And what you can, and of course, as well, that weekend spike, weekend weight. Some of my clients, I don't actually get them to weigh themselves on a Monday and Tuesday because they always have something going on at the weekend, and it can be a bit demoralizing. And we know it's not actually like legit scale weight. So we wait till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that seems to work really, really well. So 2 things to keep in mind there. Now, another thing, what you can do is, yeah, maybe you are going to be consuming a little bit more. Of course, it's absolutely normal. So why not have step goals for your with you and your mates? Why not do more steps in the gym? Why not get out and do more steps more than what you would normally do with your dog or your friends or your family? Offset some of that calories being consumed. Don't sit down and be a bum, and don't sit down and be a lazy person. I'm going to be consuming probably a little bit more. My clients are more than likely going to without probably telling me. I know this. I'm not a stupid coach. I know no one will be absolutely on point with their calories over the Christmas period. But the goal for me is to give them a good understanding of it's okay to have some extra foods. As long as we're doing things outside of those socials and stuff like that, that's going to help us make sure we're maintaining or if not still progressing. Christmas week, you're never going to be really fucking, going all out. Well, Christmas week, you are a little bit, but that one week, you will not gain loads and loads of body fat. It's weeks and weeks and weeks of overfeeding. Trust me. Now, you might think, okay, what about drinks and stuff like that during the week and stuff? Starbucks, unfortunately, is awful with this. I want you guys to be careful with the Christmas specials of Starbucks coffee. Now, I'm a huge coffee. If you're watching this on YouTube, like I'm having my coffee right now. I love coffee. But these Starbucks coffees and liquid calories are huge. You can be up to 600 calories. And if you're a female on 1,700 calories, you can consume nearly half of your calories just from a fucking Starbucks coffee or Christmas special coffee. Anything that, right, remember this, anything that goes into your mouth, unless it's water and black coffee, pretty much, or maybe instead of maybe Diet Coke or White Monster, there are probably a couple of others, but pretty much everything that goes into your mouth is calories. In my understanding or my experience, people don't realize the amount of calories that are in drinks. So liquid calories count, even your juice bars, the smoothies that you have. I'm just having an innocent smoothie. That's good for me, isn't it? It's orange. Have a look at the calories, it's 350. Ah, okay. So anything that you have is going to be caloric, or not always caloric, but it's always going to have calories in there. So be mindful of where what you're eating and what you're drinking. And I would give yourself a calorie range, to be honest, guys. Like, no one's going to be on point with everything. So, if you're a female and you're on, and you're cutting some body fat, 1,600 calories, give yourself 1,500 to 1,700. That really, really works for your mindset. Um, Make sure you're doing more steps. Make sure you maybe a little bit more cardio. Like go with a friend. Do your resistance training. Train hard because you're going to be consuming more. So it'll be like a good month for PBs because generally people will be eating a little bit more, so you have more energy for your training. Therefore, you're going to have more PB fucking logbook numbers, which is great. Then maybe have a little bit of like a hit workout with your friend. Do ski erg, then rower. Play with it. Just play around with it. Offset some of those calories. It's not going to be massive. Like if you overconsume 800 calories and you do some hit workout for 20 minutes, it's probably only going to be about 300 calories that you're going to burn. If not, yeah, about 300 calories, 400 calories, but it still offsets a little bit. Get the body moving. Don't feel too harsh on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself as well. Know that socials are not the reason you will gain weight. It's only if you do not stick to your plan all of the other days. It's only if you overfeed every day for days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks. One weekend of socializing will not, I repeat, will not make you gain loads of weight. It's only if you let that weekend carry on to Sunday, to Monday, to Tuesday, to Wednesday, to Thursday, not do anything, not train, not do any cardio. Then you've got another weekend and you're going to eat and drink loads. And then you're hungover and you're going to get more takeaways. And then you're hungover and depressed. And now you don't want to go to the gym. And it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, look, it's the weekend again. And that is how body fat is accrued. So remember, maintaining is just as good as progressing because what I would rather maintain or take one step back than take 7 steps back. Gaining weight is a lot easier than gaining weight is a lot easier than trying to lose it. So don't put yourself in a compromised position. Enjoy the Christmas period. Make sure you're aware of things. Give yourself a calorie range. Do extra steps. Do some extra cardio if you need to. Make sure you're training. Make sure you're calorie banking for those socials. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. Have fun with it. Think of your training as, oh, I'm going to fucking have some PBs because I'm having a little bit more food this month. And maintaining is very, very important. And learning to maintain your weight over the Christmas period can be even more valuable than trying to progress in fat loss because you're actually learning how to maintain that weight maintain your weight at that weight with calories and stuff. So yeah, maintenance is very important. None of my clients will be in a fat loss phase over the last 2 weeks of Christmas because Why would anyone want to be in fucking restrictive? But leading up to that, all of my clients have Christmas dues. All of them have socials. All of them will still make progress. All of them will still enjoy their training. All of them will understand that little spikes is going to be absolute normal. Fluctuations are normal. So attack the Christmas period as you would attack any other time of month. Nothing really needs to change apart from maybe doing a little bit extra, being aware of things, being aware of liquid calories, being aware of cakes and stuff. Do you have to eat all of the cake and all of the sweets and all of the chocolate? Probably fucking not. And don't be a baby, don't be a child, be an adult, just like all of us other people, and you will have a great physique, and you will set yourself up in January even better. You could be 2 kilos lighter come January, or 5 kilos heavier. That's over a stone. Try losing a stone. It's hard. Some clients take about 4 months to lose a stone, 3 months. So don't fuck it up. Anyway, that is my Christmas survival guide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you've got any questions on this, please send me a message on Instagram. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. I'm actually going to be building a PDF on a survival guide as well that people can download, and what I would be doing if I was in your situation and how I direct my one-to-one clients. Have a fantastic rest of your day whenever you're listening to this, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.